against a mid pull, you're losing your bottle early on, everything was going 100% wrong. And then all of a sudden, there's some space. Is that a tinker in middle lane? Does that mean not losing a tier 1 tower? It's not this huge bunch of gold coming the way of Empire? Coming the way of Dignitas? It just didn't happen. And then, yeah, so much space. And so far, Wisp being banned out again. But this is what we talked about at the very, very end of the last game. How do you ban everything against Empire? You ban out the Wisp because you're trying to take out their combinations. And with the first 2 picks, that's all you can really ban. You can only ban the combination heroes.
Yeah, I totally
All the heroes
agree.
you think are too OP.
You're stuck between a rock and a hard place when you play against Empire, because giving a Wisp away is almost like a death wish. We've seen it happen in this tournament, and the result ultimately is not something that you want to have to deal with. Looks like Dignitas this game is going to ban out Undying, so now it's up to Empire if they're going to let the Darkseer slide through again. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. They've had really good success with it so far. They've managed to beat it, I think, every single time that they've played against it, if it's going to be the Clinks and the Darkseer matchup. And you know, because of the fact that Funnick actually plays Darkseer for Empire as well when they get it, I feel like he has that advantage where he knows the matchup from both sides. He's always able to capitalize on every single advantage because he's played it over and over and over again. And the more times they let it happen, I mean, you can see Dignitas right now, they're second-guessing themselves, and they're going to pick the Darkseer again.
Yeah, they start with it, but you had to know that was coming back. And this time they're going to have Jakiro and the Templar Assassin together. Golblack is getting everything that he so desires in a draft. If he's going to go that, he's actually thinking longer than I really thought he would have for this one. Maybe he's worried that the Clinks will be counter-picked. Maybe pick it up right now so he doesn't have to wait to the end. But if he does, having a nice path into a vac. And he goes the Bounty Hunter instead. So we're switching it up, but we're still going with what is Empire, with what is already signature for them. And that's the beauty about these teams. We kind of look back in the early days of Dota 2, that was, when the pool was pretty limited, just who had the depth to play what different heroes. How does that work? Like, can you ban one hero and instantly, oh, it's like Admiral Bullock, take out Lone Druid, he's going to suck now. And then he gathers himself some depth. He finds 3 different heroes that he focuses on, knows how to play. And with Empire, you find all these different heroes. And you're kind of right too, with the bans that go up against Empire, you can't ban the same way. You ban signature heroes that you're used to banning against Blow Your Brain. And then, wait on, no, it's Sox. He plays a very different style.
Yeah, as time goes on, people are going to have to adapt to that, especially in this tournament, because it's already in the quarterfinals. That means these matches mean a lot more. There's a lot of weight, especially on this game for Dignitas. If they take a loss here, they are out. It is a single elimination semifinal right now, best 3. It's game number 2. Jakiro is going to be taken up by Dignitas here. It's a very, very common combo. Jakiro Darkseer is very strong. They actually had it last game. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to get them a win, even though they did have their Gyrocopter farming quite well. He managed to maintain around the same level of farm as the Clinks and Scandal did, but unfortunately, it just wasn't hard carry enough potential yet. He didn't make it late enough in the game to really let himself shine. But taking Leshrac as well, coming out of Leshrac.
No fun.
I think somebody booed in the audience actually when they picked the Naga Siren. Just a shout out to TI2 back before Naga Siren got her slew of nerfs. But again, this is Empire style. This gives you a free reset button on any engagement that you don't want to take.
Yeah. This is so hard too. Like, what happens with Darkseer, Jakiro, Leshrac, they all want to run in. You're looking at every single hero that's going to be affected by this. Are you already waiting for the Naga? Sounds like you've done a prep lineup waiting for this. Do you go with the Juggernaut pickup now? Do you try and find your Enigma? Do we run too many supports then? It's Jakiro, Leshrac support. What do we really look at to try and shut down Naga? Or is it just that get out of jail free card we're looking at? Bounty out of TA. They're not 2 big AoE combos, which is what we saw in TI2. TI2, we saw everything just pounded into one big area and then damage. Because you do have the side blaze from TA, so technically there is that. But there's no Darkseer set up, maybe the Black Hole, and that should be a pretty standard ban out here from Fogged, just in case. Because actually, it's got to be, because we're looking at 3 heroes that require a lot of farm. These are going to be the cores.
Yeah, definitely. And looking at the Bounty Hunter right now, it's probably going to be the off lane. It was banned out quite often in this tournament so far. Managed to slip through this time. And a team like Empire, they already love their aggressive style of strategies. And Naga Siren, like you said, it's that get out of jail free card. It's, you know what, we're going to engage. If something bad happens, we can just pop the ultimate. Everyone gets out for free almost every single time. And because you have the bounty, you want to play aggressive. It just plays into itself so well. If you think about it that way, it allows them to be more aggressive with less risk. And what better team to do that kind of a strategy than Empire?
Yeah. Everything about he doesn't ban out the Enigma, he lets it fly. It's going to be the Enchantress as the final ban. Here we have not, I don't think any team in this entire competition has picked up the Enchantress just yet.
No, I don't think they have either, which is really, really strange. I think people have completely forgotten about the Naga Siren and the Black Hole combination coming out from Enigma. That was something that we saw all the time. Yeah, like, people would pick around it specifically.
Yeah, it worked perfectly because Naga, you didn't have to end your sleep before the Black Hole begins. If the Black Hole goes, then you shut off your sleep, and then you're good to go. Then everyone just starts damaging away. It's not one of these things where it's like, well, we want to have a huge ass damage like a Ravage, where we have to turn off the sleep and then follow up with the Ravage. And Fold actually let both through, both Tide as well as the Enigma. Imagine if we go Wombo combo.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit worrisome. And Empire's really taking their time on this last ban. It looks like it's going to be CK. That's obviously one of the heroes we saw more often than not go straight up against the Naga Siren. And because of the Phantasm, the physical damage output, that was one of the good ways because CK is such a great mid-game hero. It allows you to pick that hero off before even potentially she could get her sleep. So they're picking around their Naga Siren, being able to get her ultimate off whenever she's in a bad situation, whenever the team fight is going south. And so far, Dignitas, now it's their pick. Not sure what they're going to go for. They obviously need some heroes who are going to be getting some farm because Jakiro and Leshrac likely going to be playing support roles in this particular game, looking at a hard carry and potentially a mid coming from Dignitas.
What I'd like to see from Empire is actually more aggressive kind of supports to go with them. Send the Naga up towards the top lane. Don't go defensive. Try and go for that instead. Then have coupling abilities. Look for heroes like Lina and Lion who have that big burst damage that can take out Jakiro, take out Leshrac, take out the creep waves as well if you want to. This could be the beautiful, beautiful, magical thing that you want to see. Darkseer, he's not going to escape. If Darkseer is having any kind of thoughts about going solo top and Leshrac and Jakiro going aggressive on bottom lane, throw the bounty down there. What are you going to do? Drop a sentry and dive on the tier 1 tower? It's not really going to 100% work. Maybe go aggressive. Maybe let Empire play the game they love to play, and that's move inside the enemy jungle. You might not even need the Enigma Black Hole and use Naga as just a starting initiator, just as you would a CK stun. Then Windrunners get picked up by Fog here. So we are going to see a call Windrunner now, which kind of screws a little bit with the lanes and might actually imply a little bit that Darkseer might maybe be thinking about jungle, or we're looking at a solo mid Windrunner.
There's a lot of options here, actually, for Dignitas. If they want to take the route of Na'Vi and do the Dendi Jakiro mid, they can do that. They can Darkseer mid, they can Windrunner mid, they can Darkseer offlane, Windrunner offlane. The lanes are wide open for Dignitas, and I like that a lot because even though they started off with the same picks, they did in game number 1 with the Darkseer and the Jakiro, it does give away your lanes a bit, but if you pick a hero like Windrunner who has this kind of open-ended laning phase where she can really much do whatever she wants, it's just going to be down to what Dignitas wants to accomplish. They're going to try to mind game Empire here a little bit, just to make them second-guess themselves in the laning phase because, in all honesty, if it's a Darkseer versus a TA, the Darkseer wins that matchup pretty easily, and Tidehunter is going to be taken by Empire, so they are going more of a combo-oriented route, and Enigma is still available with one more support already picked up by Empire here. They have one support for the Naga Siren lane. We could potentially be seeing an Enigma last pick. Yeah, and it could be that combination I was talking about, but that would mean they go a lot more defensive lane, and then what does Team Dignitas do with this? Do they try and run Jakiro as well as Leshrac offensive? Does Windrunner go with that solo? Does Darkseer stay his solo? Or do they even combine up Jakiro, Leshrac, and Windrunner together? Run the 3 together and put a lot of farm on Windrunner. Everything is a possibility at this point, really, if you're Dignitas. It just depends on what you think Empire is going to do, because you're looking at their lineup right now and you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, the Bounty Hunter is obviously going to be offlining. There could potentially be an aggressive tri-lane coming out, but it doesn't really seem that strong. When you're aggressively tri-lane, you don't want to pick heroes like Tide, because you're not going to be able to pull, you're not going to be able to get the experience from your jungle that you would be able to do if you're on your side of the map. So that kind of makes me lean away from them going aggressive try. So their lanes are a little bit predictable at the moment, but of course you have 4 heroes done, so at some point you're just going to know what they're going to be laning most of the time. It's just a matter of, if you're Dignitas looking at it saying, okay, it's going to be a defensive tri-lane, looks like they're going to take Gon's advice here, and they're going to pick up a Luna instead of a Gyrocopter in game number 2 as their hard carry.
Yeah, so the Luna, which means you are always defensive. Always very, very defensive with the Luna. She's a risky hero to throw out there, and if you're going up against Naga Net, I suppose, actually, it wouldn't be too bad because Ty, obviously with Gush, is a bit of a pain in the butt, but he's not going to be this be-all, end-all guy that's going to kill you. Obviously, if Enigma comes in with a Malva stun as well as the Net, then you get the Riptide, then you're in a lot more trouble. You're looking at a lot of negative armor, and Luna's already got, like, very low as it is. So she can find herself dropped on down very, very quickly, but it does mean that Windrunner kind of has to go that solo mid, Luna for the safe lane with Leshrac and Jakiro, and Darkseer off lane up against what you would assume to be Naga down there. And Darkseer probably won't mind that too much.
Now, Darkseer is actually going to be a little bit stressed out about going up against a Naga because the way Ensnare works, if you catch him during the Surge, it completely counteracts the Surge every single level because Surge scaling is actually lower than Ensnare, and at level 4 right now on Ensnare, we're talking about 5 seconds of not being able to do anything. That is longer, basically, than any Surge rank that you're going to be able to get out, and you can get caught so easily with that. And of course, the Bane pick coming out from Empire, that is one of their go-to heroes, especially when you think that it's going to be a Darkseer offlane. They have such good lockdown. You get slept once in this lane, and you are just done for. There's no way even a Darkseer is going to be able to get away from it.
So watching all our boys move out right now. So Sox will be on the Naga Siren, going for a very farm-oriented build. Very little regeneration, but already having that Stout Shield and Quelling Blade, and he starts to cut through the middle pool. So they already want to give Scandal that advantage here on the middle lane, which should be pretty easy. That does pull Phonic up towards the top. Poor man's shield already for him, and a couple of consumables to help him out as that Bounty Hunter looks like Silent will be the one trying to gain the levels from here. And then the last one for that lineup is Goblak as the Bane Elemental. But it looks like Dignitas, they're going for a long walk, a ring around the Rosie to see if they can catch someone out. And way too sexy, completely splits from his team. May be able to get a shackle as he runs up high. And Silent sees the line. Is there? No, not in range for the Ice Path. Not possible. But the entire Dignitas side shown on that bottom lane. And Aoi 2000 on that Luna. He's remaining down here with, well, it's actually fogged on the Leshrac. It's a Leshrac Fox. Are we going to see Leshrac for the solo mid? Tide supporting Jakiro and sneaking. He's taking Darkseer up, and he's building for what almost looks like a semi-bottle rush for the middle lane. Windrunner off lane. Oh man, Goblak, he's actually caught. But no follow through. No follow through at all.
Yeah, they were just fighting for position basically right there to drop a ward for the small camp just to make sure that their middle lane doesn't go south for them. You absolutely need that ward down nowadays, especially against teams like Empire. They're going to abuse every advantage that they can possibly get. Unfortunately, Empire didn't start out with any sentries, which means that ward's going to stay there for quite a while. And Darkseer versus TA, we talked about this matchup. TA is going to struggle here a little bit.
Yeah, Darkseer in the middle lane, which means Fogged, who normally takes that mid solo, gets to play support Leshrac, so he's pulling a bit of a Vorst right now, saying, I don't want to play that lane. So gets to go on a ganking Leshrac, is what we like to call it. But him, Aoi, as well as Tides together on that bottom lane, it's a pretty brutal combo once they get a couple of levels up. Once this trialing gets a couple of levels, Naga won't want to get in too close. Goblak, of course, if anyone does try and commit down onto the heroes, you've got the Nightmare there. And that's the reason why we've seen teams like Empire just lap up a hero like Bane Elemental, because if team fights go wrong, Bane completely changes it. Be it through Fiend Script, be it through already his nuke, which he has, or that Nightmare. Or if you want to add another one to it, what happens when he gets enfeebled? What happens when Aoi does no damage whatsoever?
Things are going to be a bit worrisome in terms of small fights for sure. Empire, I think, in that sense, definitely has an advantage. Even in large-scale team fights, again, having the Naga Siren just to say, you know what, I'm level 6, this team fight isn't going well for us, I don't think I want to fight anymore.
Is he caught? Is he caught? Fog walks straight past him. Then the Split Earth is going to hit as well as the Ice Pass. Not getting the best chain out there from Dignitas and Nightmare. Would you believe it? Now we can't do anything.
Unfortunately, he's level 1 anyway, so even if he was able to auto-attack a few more times, he's just getting an extra 14 damage from the Lunar Blessing. No nukes out or anything like that.
Darkseer. What a good time to rotate down to this pull. The ward didn't block the camp, and it's going to be, well, actually a lot of damage being taken by that Darkseer, but he's finding farm. 4-0, he's actually got as far as CS, but he's just screwing around a little bit with what Silent's capable of doing.
That's so unfortunate that the ward doesn't block the camp. You'd think that it would. It's really, really close to the camp itself, but it actually doesn't, which means that he's not going to be getting much of any experience in this middle lane, assuming that Empire does their pulling properly, and that is something that is going to go far south for them as this lane goes on. That is not the kind of start that Dignitas wants, especially when they're only one game away from elimination. Mistakes like that will cost you in a big way against Empire.
Yeah. Oh, and Tides. Not going to have time to pick up that Invis rune. Silent already went down for it, so he's going to be a little bit more aggressive on the bottom lane. We don't have any sentries here that's going to reveal him, so he's going to feel very, very confident down here. But he's only alert. Actually, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he does. He doesn't know if there's sentries or not. But he's going to move in behind. An Anchor Smash and Gush, close range. Look for one of those support heroes to pick off. They've already found Goblak a little bit out of position. And Tides wants to go for it. San's going to come in. There's the ensnare. Gush as well as Anchor Smash. Tides a lot of damage. Nice double on that ice path. But it's not going to be enough alive to stay alive. Yes, Tidehunter gets the first blood. It actually goes to Goldblack, in fact. And now they're moving on to Fog. Silent, really low life. Aoi keeps right-clicking from behind. Fog gets a stun out in Naga Siren. We do have that ensnare again, but he's getting the heal. Maybe not enough. There's the ensnare. Ice path from Jakiro. Now returning towards that bottom engagement. Coming through the trees. Aoi's going to slow them down. Leshrac, nice stun on Naga Siren. Going to keep those right-clicks going. And Aoi, they're not even touching him during this fight. It's just support heroes they're trying to focus on. And now over to Goldblack, 2 points on that Lucent Beam. He needs that Brain Sap. He's been actually frosted up. Brain Sap not in time. He started the animation but couldn't finish it. Now 3-1 in favor of Dignitas.
Because of the fact that Jakiro was the first one to die, he made it back into the team fight that committed so heavily to killing Fog right there. He abused Fog perfectly. Unfortunately, ran right into a creep wave when he popped his Sal, but ultimately it just didn't matter. And like you were saying, totally ignored Aoi, didn't turn around at all. No, he's only level 3 at the time when they were taking that team fight. All he has is basically 1 or 2 Lucent Beams, and that's about it. They really wanted that kill and paid for it because of the heavy commitment.
Might even go again now. San's back on that bottom lane with full mana, so he'd like to have a crack at Aoi if possible. But that's Naga. Yep, there's the wall just behind, so they can keep a little bit better vision. So Bounty Hunter taking a lot of damage, and it's Windrunner against Bounty Hunter. Funnick should go down to this tower. Invis the range. It's just out. 40 HP he lives on, and he just got out of range. Funnick, how many times have we said just how amazing he is on the off lane? But now back down to Aoi. Riptide's already started off. Look for that gush to happen. It does happen too. Anchor Smash coming in close. A lot of damage. Magic stick charges might be enough. No, it's not enough. But again, Ice Path perfect from Tides. Now onto the Naga Siren. There's no final ulti right now, but Fogged is just silent. He's the big man standing his ground. But it's not going to be another kill, but Naga for Luna is now the trade in the bottom lane.
Pretty much totally even in that regard. They managed to take down Aoi first. He's just not a very durable hero. 587 HP is not really a whole lot when you're considering the nuke coming out of Bane is actually pure damage. It's 160, and that's not even considering the fact we're talking about Gush. Level 2 Anchor Smash and Riptide coming out as well from Sock. So with that being said, both tri-lanes are actually doing quite well for themselves, even though Empire gave a couple of extra kills away. How can we ever forget about Funnick, no matter what hero he's playing? I mean, how can you tower dive a Windrunner, get away with it, get the kill? I mean, how does he always do this?
He's Funnick. It's the only logical explanation. It's like asking how Puppy Mike grows. There is just no proper answer to it. But he's looking great now. He's level 6, and there's your track. And this is how he's able to dive it now. The movement speed, he's keeping up with Windrunner. He's only got boost, but the movement speed from the track, he's going to dive it again. Thinking about it, but then goes out of range, goes invis, takes no extra damage, and then back in for round 2. It's a smorgasbord that is basically serving up Justin Bieber's head, and Funnick wants it. 2 points. Oh, nice shackle. Perfect from Way Too Sexy, but the kill is still there. Sneaking will come up and help him. But that's going to leave the middle lane out. But Silent now on the bottom lane. It looks like we've lost a little Shrike down here. So Empire able to pick up a kill on this bottom lane as well. Tides, Ice Path, Silent, 33 HP. Gush being returned. Then the ensnare. Dual breath through Goldblack. He doesn't have any mana for his nuke, but it doesn't matter. Naga Siren gets the right click. And now Goldblack has mana for his nuke, but it's not enough to kill off Aoi.
Empire is so good at knowing their limitations. I'm actually a little bit surprised that shackle even latched. I don't know why I'm surprised, because I've seen some ridiculous shackles in my day, but that just seemed a little bit ridiculous in terms of length. But overall, Funnick still gets the kill regardless, and he forced the TP out of sneaking in the middle lane. And now it looks like they decided to switch things up. They're not happy with the way things are going so far. And Snee is level 8, so he's done pretty well for himself in terms of overall experience, but he's still getting out-farmed by Scandal in mid.
It's Scandal TA, man. It's Scandal TA. Try Way Too Sexy, see if he has any better luck. As Naga Siren now left by herself in that bottom lane. Maybe they're just trying to give her a little bit more experience. Get to that level 6, or it could just be because Tidehunter is forced to walk all the way back to base. Before he's good to go. What have we got flying out in the courier? Anything important? We have wand and bottle, and it's an empty bottle to boot. Hello, a little bit of trouble, Empire. Got to get Naga Siren out of this one, moving a little bit further away, and just even that smart little maneuver off to the side made it so the Darkseer couldn't get that proper vacuum.
That's our level 2 vacuum. Doesn't have the greatest range in the world or anything like that, but it looks like they want to try to go for a dive. Everyone from Dignitas is here. This is definitely a risky play. They're going to drop a ward behind the tower just for the extra vision, but Goldblack is here, going to have a teleport in from Tide, and I think that's going to be enough to make Dignitas think otherwise.
Yep. Sneak, or maybe not. Empire. Now falling back to their tier 1 tower. Ice Path's not going to hit. Lucent Beam pops out in the Naga Siren. She's low on life, but it's the 2 support heroes playing around the back end. using the surge to get the Leshrac out of position. And Funnick, would you believe? TP's the bottom lane. The second he realized the engagement was going to begin, look for a track. Sentry wards are down. He sees everything anyway. But he wants to right-click on Way Too Sexy and says, hi, remember me?
They've even dropped sentries as well out of here from Empire just to ensure nothing crazy happens. Just a D ward. I don't know if they noticed that there was a ward behind the tower right there. I'm not sure if they saw anybody place it. But either way, Empire doesn't lose anything for it. They do use a TP, but Funnick is already making his way back, man. Looking to catch somebody on the way back. And if it's Way Too, man.
It's gonna be. But stop being so cruel. Stop being so cruel. It's just brutal. And he saw him through the track everywhere. And the vision was perfect. He knew exactly where he was going to go. Comes in, does the damage, and another track kill for Funnick. And now, going to move on for another track kill, see if he can bring down Darkseer. And Funnick, look at that movement speed. He's almost moving as fast with those phase boots as a surging Darkseer. In fact, he was. He was keeping up for the race.
That's just the power of track. You get 20% bonus move speed on top of the phase boots already. And Scale taking quite a bit of damage here in the middle lane. But I think he's going to be fine. Might even try to dive. He's playing really aggressive considering Funnick is not here to back him up.
Yeah, Funnick's already moving up towards the top lane, and now he's going to find Tides. And it's just one to the next, to the next, to the next. And like we looked for the 11 minute for the Orchid before, and now Funnick is just like, well, I don't even need 11 minutes. Oh, he's caught in the ice path for the moment. But still, track, movement speed, one right-click Janata, 3 points up in it. How are you supposed to go up against that? We know Jakiro's got a nice high strength game, but level 5 up against level 9.5 with the double damage.
Now, there's not really much Jakiro can do in that position, to say the least. Going to see TP coming in, so Scandal's making his way towards here. Once this Tide hits level 6, Empire's going to have even more team fight, and even though they gave away First Blood.
Shackle, this time, get a latch from Way Too Sexy. Sentry War going to be dropped on down. Darkseer backs him back in again. Ice Path, but Funnick, he's running up high. Chill Breath, he burns a little bit. Second Sentry War being dropped down. He's now out of range of that one. They can't see him in there, but the Iron Shell will ensure the kill until they all get locked inside one little hole. But Luna, at the same time, goes down in the middle lane, and this will also spell a tier 1 tower.
Empire always finding advantages where they can get them. This tower is already low. Top tower has taken quite a bit of damage itself if you're looking at Empire's side of the map. But a tower and basically trading a carry for an offlaner, I think Empire is still going to be happy with that. They have just great decision making. Even when somebody gets picked off, Funnick forces 2 sentries just for 1 kill by running up right there. If he managed to run down, he probably still would have died anyway and dragged him even closer to the tower. So even when he's dying, he's still making plays that just maximizing his own efficiency even in death.
It's amazing, amazing just the way these lanes are coming out. But Dignitas, let's look at what they've... Oh, no, owie. He's got to get himself away from this one. There's a refraction. Lucid Beam, mini stun. Actually lucky enough to move away. And if this Shackle hits from Way Too Sexy, the two heroes will line up for a moment. And Scandal turns around, tries to meld him, but very, very fast on the Windrunner button. Shackle, it latches. And now Owie just pops open the can, wants to go on Scandal, but then he goes Invis. And the track is up on Owie. Again, Funnick is involved. And Templar Assassin brings him down. Sneaking comes in, backs on Scandal. He can meld, but maybe that's not going to help him. And now Naga says, no fun for you. And then Empire will retreat. Way Too Sexy. They're trying to limp on the no fun, but they turn around to fight again. Icepath holding this time on the Naga Siren. Funnick wants to fight even more. There's the ensnare holding the Darkstream in place. There's the wall as well, and they're going to fight up against the Bounty Hunter as well as the Tidehunter illusions. But Funnick doesn't seem to care. Tracks up on Fogged, and then gets rid of himself.
The team fights coming out from Empire just seem to be a little bit higher tier coordination than what Dignitas is able to string together. Every single time they get a little bit picked off, Owie walks in. Unfortunately, he popped his ultimate. It's only level 1. So we're talking at a maximum of 4 beams, and 2 of them, I believe, or 1 at the very least, got eaten by refraction. That's definitely not the kind of ultimate you want. There was no backup. There was no sentry, so Scandal was able to get away for free. The track came out from Funnick, and that spelled a very, very dead Owie at that point. And even trading a carry away, regardless of whether or not you get a kill, that's not an ideal situation ever, and giving anything away to Empire again is just something that you can't afford to do. This is what they do time and time again, even when they trade kills. Because of the fact they have the bounty, because they get the higher priority targets, they get towers in addition to kills, they just take a little bit more than you every single time.
God, like, he would have held him there with Fiend Script so Funnick could kill him. 100% they wanted Owie in that middle lane just then. And maybe just round 2. Track is there. Movement speed's going to be there for Goldblight to catch up. And Blink Dagger purchased up by Templar Assassin. Surprising at buying it back at the shop, but not on himself. Yeah, there we go. He sold it very, very quickly and then bought it on the side shop. And Funnick, He's diving through. Looks like Nagasara's having a little bit more trouble at the bottom lane. They're diving back past that Tier 1 tower. But I cannot take my eyes off Funnick. He's chasing Aoi past the Tier 2 tower. Goldblack's going to come in. There's the longest beans grip of your life. Right-click Shuri Toss, already dead. Sneaking will arrive just to say, yeah. Blinked like Jakiro, and it's going to be Scandal right in his back. Leshrac stun misses, Sneaking coming in, and it's 4 heroes caught between the caught between their own Tier 1 and own Tier 2 tower. Can you even say that when Funnick now tracks up another one? Silent's going to be coming in. He's got Ravage up, and he can pop it right now. Jakiro's in the corner. Maybe it's going to be there. Meld hit his out and Sneaking. Anchor match as well. The Shackle is there. Now they've held Funnick. Nice Darkseer wall. Back and both in. There's your Ravage to pop, and it will be the death of Sneaking. Scandal's going to take his life. Funnick's in the corner. He picks off the Jakiro, and now trying to hide inside the trees. Not going to be enough. Leshrac actually getting a double kill, bringing down Templar Assassin, then again another Shackle to latch, and fogged. The Leshrac getting a triple kill out of the play.
I gotta say, game number 2 between these two teams is definitely delivering in terms of action. 27 kills in a 13-minute game between these two teams so far, and I'm just smiling from ear to ear. There's no single way that you can possibly expect anything more from these two teams. They both want it so badly. Dignitas, of course, still 1 game away from being eliminated. Empire trying to get 1 more to bring themselves into the semifinals. These team fights that they're taking, Empire is playing so unbelievably aggressive, diving past tier towers, even though they have a ward there. The way that they're playing is mind-blowing.
This is what makes Empire an amazing team, and the fact they can do it with just a player that's not even that normal player is unbelievable. And now look at the positioning for Tides of Time. He's going to throw out that stun, but it doesn't help him when the no fun ulti comes out from Naga, and they're giving time for TP to come in. Funnick, he'll start the track up. Starts on Fog, that's the one he wants. Scandal jumped in too. They want revenge for before. Shackle on Scandal, big long Shackle. They bring him down in time, and maybe with this macro pyro it's going to be enough. Silent, he doesn't have this Ravage anymore, and Lucid Beam, is he going to hit anything? He airballs it almostly, and it's going to be Windrunner. They do find, oh, hello, a little bit of trouble for Nagasara, shackled up. Funnick also held in position, but Tides of Time, again, we've just got that Fiend script, holding in position. We're down by 3 on either side. Goldblack now being a focus, but Funnick, he's looking for anyone he can kill. There's 2 heroes here, and he's right on top of a Sentry Wood. He's got to get himself away. The power shot, ultra kill, but way too sexy. He's 9 there to think about what he just did to the Empire side, and Goldblack's on the run back out of here. That was a great fight for Dignitas this time around.
Dignitas definitely with a great team fight. They also managed to get the tower during that entire fight. They got an ultra kill on a Windrunner of all heroes. I mean, you don't really just see that every single day. If you look at his inventory right now, he's got 3,000 gold after that team fight. I think Dignitas is going to be pretty pleased, even though the kills that Empire get are tracked pretty much every single time because Funnick has been pretty vigilant about it. The experience and the gold deficit that Dignitas was in is not looking so bad anymore.
And this is there's going to be fun times too, because now Windrunner's able to afford a full 4-staff, and there's going to add maneuverability now. Bounty Hunter's trying to follow you down. You got 4-staff. You can save your teammates. You can save yourself. You can push him out of position. Look for that Ravage. Actually avoid it. But Windrunner deserved that ultra kill. Those shackles that were latching just gave the biggest opportunities to bring down these heroes. The fact that Scandal died so early on is just testament to that.
Yeah, having Scandal die that early really hurts because he's a tremendous amount of their damage at this point. You have a TA who goes for a straight blink. I thought he might be going for a rush BKB just because they have things like Darkseer, they have Jakiro, they have Edict. I mean, Edict is going to go through anyway, but it's just such a hard thing to deal with when you have so many spells that eat through your fraction that fast. And you also have to worry about the disable portion, like you were saying. Really, really good shackles coming out of way too. These team fights are not going as well as Empire wants them to, and even though the Bounty Hunter was one of the last people to die in the team fight, so there's still a lot of tracks, it's still a little bit troublesome.
Shackle tries to go on the top lane, then instantly tracked in revenge and fogged. I'm worried about him right now. He's walking around with 500 life points, and you've got yourself not only Scandal with a Blink Dagger attack and a Haste Rune up his sleeve, but you've also got Funnick on the prowl, who also now fires up his Mithril Hammer. What we assume to be BKB, but if he wants to go all the whole hog, we could be looking at, oh, Naga! That's not where you want to be, and this time Sneaking tries the wall, and it's just a quick TP out, but no! Ice Path in by Tides. He can let the macro pie for this one. He wants to try and force Naga into the wall. She has to go further up now. Leshrac comes in looking for the stun. Scandal trying to help out, but it's going to be Naga dying on the high ground. Wonderful back by Sneaking. Wall misses everything, but the back works.
Yeah, interesting that it ended up working out that way, but nonetheless, the Naga Siren does end up falling, and Dignitas is looking here poised to try to take Roshan without a Naga Siren ultimate, without any way to initiate.
Windrunner, Scandal. maybe he thinks he can take that one. In fact, I think he definitely believes he can. And the fact that Windrunner just took so much damage, and Blink hit and Meld hit as well. Scandal's trying to make this as hard for Dignitas as possible just by dropping their life points and making them fearful to go in, because they still don't know where Funnick is. Now he's in the middle lane, showing himself.
Dignitas can't take Roche anymore. Scandal single-handedly pushes 2 or 3 members of Dignitas back off of his side. And I was going to go back to farming, like I said, working towards that BKB. But this is a point in the game for Empire where if they get 1 or 2 good fights, it's going to be so much more impactful than Dignitas, because we have level 13 on Funnick, which means the track is now level 2. He's actually still tracking at people randomly all over the map, being relatively annoying in the process, I might add, and Tides of Time is a recipient in one of those tracks. It just allows them to see the team fights, and this is just the active style of play that Funnick loves to do. He's all over the place, ensures that he can see the important heroes, and when they know that Dignitas is going to be trying to engage into a team fight, that gives you an advantage and knows, or they know you can position yourself better when you know where they are. I mean, that's just pretty much logic in that sense, and Tidehunter now with its Ravage back up. Empire is just looking for an opportunity for people to split up on Dignitas and try to pick them off.
It's actually kind of funny when you look at most games, you say you control this area, and whoever controls this area will normally win the game. And that's what it all comes down to. And Funnick, it's the beauty of Bounty Hunter. He's always able to control. And now Fogged, I wish you the best of luck of living right now. He's going to pop off a little bit of damage, and that's going to be all she wrote. It's a quick kill. Bounty Hunter just moves himself back out again, pops off the bottle charges, and lives a very, very happy life.
They're starting to regain their advantage after the next couple of pickoffs. Those mean so much, especially to a hero like Bounty Hunter. Not only do you get the solo experience, you get the track gold, it pretty much single-handedly brings you back into the game, even after you lose a couple of team fights. And in that sense, Dignitas has done a really good job. They've actually been in a relatively good position. They've not managed to really fumble any teamfight coordination so far as I've seen. Winner has been playing a spectacular game. I can't take anything away from him. In all honesty, it almost feels like we're watching Light of Heaven. I mean, that's the most obvious comparison, but I mean, the shackles really just have been there.
Yeah, Waito's getting it perfect. He's trying to gain again, and maybe with the 4-staff, the line's not quite right. And Silence doing the good job to run down the middle of this lane and then stick a lot higher. So Waito sexy still can't find the angle for the shackle. If he gets it, then Tide is dead, or will be forced to pop off this Ravage. He was almost in the line then for the shackle when the creep wave came in. Now Iron Shell is up, and Goldblack, first one in, got a Nightmare instantly. Does it on the Darks here. Now he's taking that to play. TA Trap coming up behind. Who's out there fighting behind the lines? Is Silent trying to make his move, and then Scandal as well as Funnick teaming up together. 4-staff up, Windrunner trying to TP Atlas track with a stun, but the BKB up from Funnick. The TP just out in time. The Windrunner out to safety. Track up on Fogged, and yeah, death ensues. And this will also be Naga Siren holding him on the bottom lane. There's the Manta, there's the mirror image, then the hold in position with the ensnare. Doesn't matter about the macro fire, they just right click, and then support comes in. They all decide to burn a little bit more, but it's Funnick with another track. They were holding him until the track was done, and a triple kill and a tier 1 tower. Throw away the keys to the car at the same time.
Empire is just getting team fights in a really big way. Now, like I said, those hurt so badly, especially getting a tier 1 after the fact. You lose 3 of your heroes, you get absolutely nothing out of it. Unfortunately... Windrunner!
You were so lucky that Ensnare did not fly, and now the Ensnare does fly. She gets the shackle, but Scandal is here. Funnick on the sidelines, 4-staff away. The Darkseer wall is there. Then the Ravage to pop. They're going to focus down on sneaking. One more couple of hits, and now allowing. He popped up the ultimate, then instantly Nightmare. He can't find the positioning. Scandal able with a fraction of lip, but again, that shackle shot flying out by way too sexy. This guy deserves a clap. Move down towards the bottom lane. Keep on going. And it will be Naga Siren on the run. Back in again. There's your Surge. There's your Iron Shell. And the shackle again! Way too sexy! It is beautiful from him. He is keeping his team in this game.
I don't even know what to say. The shackles coming out of this guy are absolutely phenomenal. No one can really argue otherwise. He's just been playing a spectacular game of Dota. The downside is that Empire, even though they just lost a handful of heroes there and they didn't really get much out of it, the fight before that, they got a ton out of it. So at the very best, you're basically inching your way back into a game where you know that you're still behind. And Dignitas knows that. They're going for Roshan. The positioning of Empire, though, they're right by the pit, and they can definitely try to contest this even without the Tide having Roshan.
Funnick starts for the track. They're going to bring down Goldblack, though. And it's a nice Lucent Beam power shot, another kill for the Windrunner. And the dust is currently up on Funnick. He's got to know this. We got high movement speed. And would you believe nothing to shackle it too? And it's not going to go for that. Scandal's going to come in, looking for sneaking. Silent, he's out of range of that Windrunner. And in comes Funnick with the haste through. No wonder he's moving so damn fast. Again, something up on Fog. Scandal hits him too. They are really making this Leshrac hurt. And Windrunner finally will go down. Even the Fiend's grip from Goblak. That's respect for Fiends right there. Now Tides. He's tracked. Funnick with the dive. Maybe going to go past that tier 2 tower. Naga's behind him. And then it's going to go straight onto the tier 2 tower. Keep those tracks flying. If there is an opportunity to go, then maybe go. And maybe this is it. Nice ice path, but Fog getting picked off by Funnick at the back end. Then a secondary track. Then on to Tides of Time. It is just Bane getting that last hit with the last nuke. And they move in again. Darkseer, he's ensnared. He was Nightmare. And now it is basically not a dream. It is in fact that exact nightmare. Owie trying to get back in past the tier 3 tower. He will go down. Double kill for Goldblack this time around. And there's an entire team wipe against Dignitas.
Oh man, what a disaster of a team fight. That's the one thing about Empire's lineup that we haven't really hit on too much is the fact that how do you run away from their team? You have a Bane, you have a Blink TA, you have Track, you have a Naga Siren with Ensnare, and Naga Siren, of course, has her ultimate, and then you have Tidehunter with Ravage and Gush. If you get caught out, if anybody gets slept during a team fight, they leave him for later. They don't even go for him right away. They pick off the other heroes like Leshrac. They throw out the track. They use Meld. They kill him instantaneously, switch to the next target. You get one hero down, and the rest are soon to follow pretty much every single time.
Is he really going to try this? Is he going to try the 4-star Finn? He does go in, and it's actually going to be a snatch! He picked up the Aegis! Windrunner got in, but there's no support! Tides of Time is trying to come in, and there's the Windrunner. He's trying to escape, and then the Ice Path catches out 4! Sneakin's going to be here! The Macro Path's going to force him to burn on the back end! Ravage going to help, but they're still burning on the way in. Another Shackle from Way Too Sexy, holding out that Tide, and then the Lunar Oldman able to do enough damage to bring down first the Naga Siren, and maybe Way Too Sexy is brought down. Funnick focused him, but Silent on such low life. Owie, they can't decide! He was going for one, then Silent turns around. He will take it for the team, gives a double kill over towards the Luna, but the Aegis Immortal, more importantly, being denied. And Funnick, I don't know, is he going to get out of this one alive? He's invis for the moment, or is he hunting? He was hunting that Leshrac.
Yeah, he really wanted that Leshrac, man. I can't even... Like, this Windrunner. If this Windrunner wasn't playing right now, I'm pretty sure that this game would have been over well by now. And I mean, just getting that pick off, making it into a 2-for-2 trade, instead of Empire getting a free Aegis, pushing down your middle lane, and possibly taking a Rax, that is an absolutely game-changing snatch right there, and brilliantly done there by Way 2.
And this is going to open up a little bit more. What do we actually got? We had no club flying out just then. I'm guessing that was for Owie, so maybe with the 1600, he may finally get his BKB. Look at Owie's farm, 24 minutes in, and we're looking at Treads, a Ring of Aquila, and really, Jakiro going down in the middle lane. It's another one getting picked up. It's a Desolator on Bounty Hunter after the BKB. But there's nothing on that Luna. Luna got a double kill, and finally is able to start inching towards the BKB.
Now this is the thing. When you tri-lane a Luna is not known for being an aggressive tri-lane or anything like that.
Trouble, Goldblack. There's your Fiend's Grip. Leshrac needs that stun, gets it too. Stops the Fiend's Grip of Fog. He is getting completely nuked down. Shackle flies, doesn't hit this time. And Funnick, he is diving and does a huge chunk of damage. Sneaking is Nightmare for the moment. If they want to do this, they can. There's the Gush. Maybe Funnick, right-click, Churi Toss, right-click. Funnick is... Godlike doesn't describe this man.
Okay. What was that Janata range, honestly? He was sitting outside of the base on the bottom of the ramp, and he hit him there? Like, I know he had the track and everything, but that was a little bit ridiculous. That was almost like Stretch Armstrong Shackle status for me. But either way, I mean, Funnick is playing a phenomenal game. Way 2 is playing a phenomenal game. It's unfortunate that one of the players who has played so well is looking like they might not have much of a chance left.
Yeah, this is going downhill very, very quickly, out of control with no brakes. Empire will take this tier 3 tower on the bottom lane. The creep wave will arrive in a moment, but they don't need that, it's fine. They'll get through this tier 3 tower. Fortification stalled up for a little bit, brings the Windrunner back to life again. Luna will want to make a move. Fog going to come in from the side. The timing, I don't know how well it's going to go already. Funnick chasing down, Way Too Sexy. Couldn't get close enough. Looking for the TA trap. Shackle won't latch. Into BKB and Fog. It is going to be one hell of a bang right now. Wonderful back into the wall, but the Ravage instantly follows up from Silencer. How do you follow that one up? Well, you die back in your base. That's how you follow it up. Beyond godlike. That's a better description. Lunar Oldman from Owie. Going to do some nice damage. He wants one last hit. There's your Shackle again. Silent. Ice Path. 2 caught out. The Naga Siren says, no fun for you. Luna will buy back, and Scandal wants to go in again. I don't 100% agree with that one. If you get yourself out in time, back through the bottom backs. Oh, of course, the Raptor's gone way. Well, Shackle. That was hopeful, the best.
Was that like one of the only shackles this game that hasn't actually latched anything? I think I counted like 2 or 3.
Oh, he was insanely hopeful with that one, thinking that maybe Funnick was still sticking around instead of Invis. That's what that fish was for. It was the only thing it was for.
Empire manages to get a Rax, and they're calling it, man. Dignitas taps out.
They say that it's over, and Empire go through from the quarterfinal 2-0, knocking out the USA. The boys that flew in, Dignitas. They don't get through, and Empire's roster stays together for this.
I want to shed a tear right now for Way2's Windrunner. I hope the audience joins me in that, because he honestly played the game of his life. It was absolutely amazing to see. Unfortunate that Dignitas has to take their leave now. They go 0-2 to Empire. I think going into it, a lot of people probably said that Empire was going to come out on top. Their team play, their drafting, all really on point. Anybody who said that Empire was going to be a weaker team for having Sox on their team rather than blow your brain is just being completely proven wrong.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. I know there was a lot of haters out there going, oh, can Sox really do it? And maybe he can. Maybe we will have, considering on the other sides of the bracket, Na'Vi going up against Empire in the grand final. Of course, there is a long road to go before you get there. There's the other quarterfinal playing on right now, which probably is also ended. We might get an update from Gods when we switch back out from this. But we have Na'Vi going up against Evil Geniuses. That's the next game coming up here on this live stream, or the main stage, depending on where you're viewing this. And man, I cannot wait for that game. I cannot wait. Just like this game. We thought this was going to be so much closer though, Draskell. This was supposed to be so much closer.
I mean, if